about now? Can? No, it's okay, right? Okay, good. Okay, good. So here, everyone, let's have a look. Today, the topic is super important. It is about the fraction. Actually, for our long-term course, we are going to learn more about the fraction as well. So here, for the first part, let's have a look, okay? This is also the third lesson of our first round of the GEP module bootcamp. As you can see here, let's have a quick introduction of the such topic in GEP test. Well, in GEP exam, the key points related to introduction includes many aspects. So for the first one, that is the representation of fractions, and the second one is about the equivalent of fractions. And the third one is to compare fractions, which one has a greater value, which one has a smaller. And next one is for addition and subtraction of fractions, as well as the word problems involving fractions. So actually, you can see this topic is very important and very popular in both round 1 and round 2. So here, let's start from the basic concept related to fraction. You don't like fraction? Yeah, it's okay. Fraction likes you, okay? So here, let's have a look. As you can see here, teacher Shirley and the teacher Miu, and they want to share a cake. Now, teacher Apple wants to divide the cake into 2 equal parts to give them. So you see that I'm very fair, right? So here, let's have a look. Can we just cut something like this? Can we just say, okay, teacher Shirley, just eat a small piece, and teacher Miu, I give you a big piece. Is it fair? Cannot, right? Okay, so following this, what about if I cut in this way? Now you see that is it fair to teacher Shirley? Actually, no, right? So when it comes to the fraction, pay attention, the most important part that is you must be fair. You need to divide them into the equal parts. So I need to cut in the middle, and you can see that for the left part, I can just give it to teacher Shirley, and the right part, I can share it with teacher Miu. So now, teacher Shirley says, I have 1 cake, but think about it. Is it actually a whole cake? No, right? So how can we describe the 1 piece in a more exact way? Well, we can say, I have 1 part of a cake. Or I can just describe with fraction, that is, I have half of a cake. Or I have 1/2 of a cake. Yes, I see. Some students says 半个. Yes, you're very good at Chinese. Yeah. Okay, so following this, let's have a look. When it comes to the basic definition to fraction, look, what is the meaning of 2 here? 2 means how many equal parts are there altogether. And also 2 has a specific name, which is called denominator. Is this a new word to you? Denominator, very long, right? Denominator. So denominator will show you how many equal parts are there altogether. And then what about if I just take out 1 part? So here you see, the parts you take, actually it is called numerator. But can we just write a fraction like this? 1, 2, that's all. No, right? So what should we draw more? That is a short line in the middle. Okay, so following this, for the whole thing, we call it as the fraction. So you see that what is the meaning of a fraction? The fraction means the parts in a whole. Okay, so this is for the first thing. Okay, you need to be clear about the definition of a fraction. Fraction means parts in a whole. So following this, now let's move on to a pizza. Well, you see, could you please tell me what is the meaning of 2/2? What is the meaning here? That is, I just cut the pizza into 2 equal parts, and then I take 2 pieces. So actually, that means I take all of them, right? Okay, what about fraction 4/4? What is the meaning of 4/4? So in this way, I need to cut it into 4 equal parts. Okay, like this. 1, 2. Okay, 2 cuts, 4 equal parts. And what is the meaning of 4 for numerator? That is, again, I need to take out all of them, right? I need to eat the whole pizza. So 4/4, that is now, even you take it into some smaller pieces, and again, you need to take everything away. Okay, and then let me show you more. Then what about 20 out of 20? What is the meaning of 20 out of 20? That is now I have so many friends I need to share with them, right? So for the first thing, I need to cut them into 20 equal pieces. And then I can take 20 pieces. So actually you see that when the fraction has the same numerator and denominator, then what is the exact value? Yes, I see. Good. Everyone share that. Okay, that is equal to 1. Good job. So following this, let's have a quick quiz. Okay, now you see I show you a shape. If I just take this shape as one whole, then what is the fraction of 1, 2, 3? 3 rectangles. Could you please tell me what is the fraction here? What is the fraction here? Oh, 1? Is it still 1? Look, if the whole thing is one whole, so what is the fraction of 3 squares? What is the fraction here? Excellent. Okay. So for the first one, you need to count how many equal parts are there. It's super easy for you, right? This is actually kind of like a K1 question. Okay. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. That is the total number of equal parts. So 8 should be the denominator. Then I need to take away 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. So 3 is for the numerator, okay? So actually you can see what is the fraction of these 3 squares? That is 3 out of 8. Any question here? You're hungry because of the pizza, right? Okay. So following this, another quick quiz for you. Actually, this one is super easy, but everyone please read the question carefully. The figure below is made up of 7 rectangles of the same size. Same size, actually that means they are equal. And then what fraction of the figure is not shaded? Okay, I give you maybe 10 seconds. Let's have a look. How many of you can answer it correctly? Okay, let's have a try. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you have the answer? Wow, I saw some wrong answers already. Is it C? Is it C? Is it C or B? B or C? Okay, so actually you see that Teacher Apple is very nice to you, right? I already highlight the keyword. What is the keyword? Not shaded. So actually we are looking for the white parts, okay? So here you see 1, 2, right? That means actually for the numerator, it should be 2. And how many equal parts are there? The question already told you, 7 rectangles of the same size. So what is the answer? It should be B. It is 2 out of 7, okay? Read the question carefully. Okay, and the next one. Which one of the following shapes shows that a quarter of the shape is shaded? Okay, have a try. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you have the answer? Okay, what is the fraction of a quarter? Excellent. So you see that for the first thing, according to the denominator, we know that the shape is divided into 4 equal parts. Okay, so what is the meaning of equal parts? So can we just choose A? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Okay, I take one of them. So I'm going to choose A. Am I correct? No, because you see that for some rectangles, actually they are bigger and the others are smaller. So they are not equal, okay? And what about for B? Again, you see that the top one is so small, right? And then for the rest of the part, you see that all of them are trapeziums. So actually following this also, I have a question, why not D? Well, you see that the D for all these parallelograms, also they're the same. Why not D? Why? Why not? Why not D? All right, because the denominator is a 4. So actually, what is the fraction to option D? That is 1 out of C. This here, let's have a is the basic fraction fraction represents part of whole. Well, let me check unstable. Please hear me clearly. No. Yes. Sorry, I received a message that my net is unstable. Can you hear me clearly? Okay. Oh. Now, everyone, again, can you hear me? Sorry, due to the storming day. Okay, now it's my Wi-Fi. Okay. Can you hear me, right? Okay, good. So here, let's have a quick summary of the first part. Well, the first part that is related to the definition of a fraction, okay? So what is the meaning of a fraction? A fraction represents a part of a whole. So we just written using numerator, which represents for the part, and then denominator. What is the denominator? That is for the whole, okay? So altogether, the fraction shows you how many parts you take from the whole. Okay. Yes. Any question now? Okay, good job. So following this, another key concept is about the equivalent fraction. Do you know what is the meaning of equivalent? Yeah. Do you know what is the meaning of equivalent? Such a long word again. Yeah. Equivalent, actually, that is for something that has a same value. Okay. So here, let me introduce. For example, look at the first pie chart. Everyone, could you please tell me what is the fraction of the blue part? What is the fraction of the blue part? What is it? That is 1 out of 2, right? 1/2. And what about the fraction of the second one? Now you see that I divide the circle into 4 equal parts and I just shade 2 of them. So what is the fraction? Yes, that is 2 out of 4. And what about the next one? I divide it into some smaller pieces. Now altogether, there are 6 equal parts. And again, I shade 3 out of them. Okay, good job. That is 3 out of 6. And then what about the green part? What is the fraction of the green part? Yes, that is 4 out of 8. And now everyone, you just look at these pictures. Could you find something in common? Well, actually, you see that though they have different denominators and they have different numerators, but actually the value of the fraction is the same. So that is why we call them as equivalent fractions. So equivalent fractions refers to fractions that are equal but have different denominators. Okay, can you understand now? Okay, and also here, let's pay attention to the value between them. So now everyone, you see that for the denominator from 2 to 4, what did we do? We just times 2, right? So that is for every part, I divide it into 2 smaller pieces. Well, at the same time, what happened to the numerator? From 1 to 2, we also times 2. Okay, and next one, let me change the color. What about from 2 to 6? From 2 to 6, you see that I just times 3. And also, what about for the numerator? From 1 to 3, that is to multiply by 3 as well. And also here, everyone, maybe you can think backwards. Now you see, let's start from the biggest number here, 8. From 8 to 2, so actually what do we do? You just divide it by 4, right? Well, at the same time, what happened to the numerator? From 4 to 1, we also divide it by 2. So actually here you see what kind of conclusion we can get. That is actually as long as the numerator and denominator are multiplied by the same number or divided by the same number, actually the value of the fractions should be the same. Okay, the value should be the same. So following this, let's try to practice more. What is the equivalent fraction to 2 out of 5? Well, as you can see, 5 and 20. Okay, what is the multiple relationship here? How can we turn 5 to 20? How do we turn that 5 to 20? Times 4, right? So you can see 5 times 4, then you will get 20. Well, at the same time, if the denominator is multiplied by 4, that means the numerator must be multiplied by 4 as well. So now you see 2 times 4. What is the new numerator we can get? That is 8, right? Okay. So now everyone, please take out your piece of blank paper and write it down. 2 over 5. How can we turn that into the equivalent fraction with the denominator as 25? Yeah, try to write it down. Yeah, maybe you can also write down the middle part by yourself. Yeah, from 5 to 25, what happened? And then 2, what should we do with the 2? Have a try. Wow, I see some students are very fast. Yeah. From 5 to 25, what should we do? Yes, multiply by 5, right? Okay, so at the same time, what happened to 2? That is 2 times 5, which is also, which is 10. So actually, you will see 2 out of 5 and 10 out of 25, they have the same value of the fraction. So we call them as equivalent fraction. Okay, yes. Okay, next one, what about the division? Okay, here again, let me show you one example and you try the second one by yourself. Okay, the first one, from 24 to 12. Well, what should we do? From a big number to a small number? Again, divided by 2. So 24 divided by 2, you can get 12. Well, at the same time, the numerator must be divided by the same number. That is 18 divided by 2. What is the value here? That is 9. Okay. So you can see 18 out of 24, that is equal to 9 out of 12. Then for the second one, try it by yourself. Okay. Yep, have a try. 24, well, 24 to 32 cannot, right? But you see that in the middle, 18 to 6, what did we do? So 24, what should we do? Yeah, what should we do? Divided by 3, right? 24 divided by 3. How come some students got 9, huh? What happened? What happened to your calculation? 18 divided by 3, that is 6. And then 24 divided by 3. What is 24 divided by 3? Hello? What is 24 divided by 3? I'm waiting for your answer. That is 8, okay? Yeah. And then following this, you see, okay, from 8 to 32, what do? We times 4, right? 4 times 8, that is 32. And then what about the 6? 6 times 4, what is the answer? Yes, good job. Okay, you will see it is 24. Okay, so far, any question? So you can see, how do we find the equivalent fractions? We can find it by using multiplication or division. But do remember that no matter it is to multiply or to divide, you must multiply or divide by the same number. Okay, same number. So following this, let's move on to the first example here. In the following diagram, each shape represents a different digit. Find the value of each shape. Wow, is it hard? I see some students say, okay, teacher, I want to give up. I don't like smiling face. I don't like heart shape. I don't like the sound. And then I just want to say bye-bye, right? No, actually, this question is super easy. Okay, don't just give up. Okay, so here, let's have a look. What should we do? Well, we just start from what we can confirm. Well, you see, in the new fraction, the last digit is a 6. Well, that is, we can think about it. Which number ends with a 6 that is a multiple of 9? So how do we do? Maybe we just check the multiples of 9. Like 1 times 9, that is 9. 2 times 9, that is 18. 3 times 9, that is 27. 4 times 9, that is 36. Ooh, so lucky, right? 36 is ended with a digit 6. So following this, think about it. From 9 to 36, what should we do? Okay, let me write down 3 here. Okay, from 9 to 36, what should we do? Yes, we just times 4, right? So that means at the same time, what happened to the numerator? Numerator must be multiplied by 4 as well. What is 4 times 4? What is 4 times 4? Yes, that is 16. Okay. So actually, you see that is super easy. What is the smiling face? That is 1. What is the heart shape? That is 6. And what is the sum shape? That is 3. Easy? Is it hard? I think should be okay, right? Okay. So next one, it's your turn, okay? What is the missing number in the box? Well, this one is a bit more challenging than the previous question. 12 out of 15 equals to 8 out of question mark. So what is the question mark here? Look, 12 and 8. No idea, right? So actually 12 is not a multiple of 8. So what should we do? What should we do? No idea? Okay, here we get another tip, that is to simplify. What is the meaning of simplify? That is you try to divide by you try to divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number, and until you cannot divide them anymore. So now let's have a look. What is the common factor of 12 and 15 here? Yeah, you can see that we have a 3, right? Okay, so 12 divided by 3, what can you get? Yes, we can get 4, okay? And what about the 15? 15 must be divided by 3 as well, because they must be divided by the same number at the same time. What is 15 divided by 3? You will see it is 5, okay? So now following this, everyone think about it. Well, 4 out of 5. How can we turn that into 8 out of the something? So what is the something here? Okay, have a try. A, B, C, D. Which one is your answer? Yeah, have a try. A, B, C, D. Which one? Is it still very hard? Yes, correct. So you can see that from 4 to 8, what do we do? So actually here we just times 2, right? So that means at the same time, the denominator 5 also need to be multiplied by 2. Then you can get what is the answer? The answer is B. Okay, that is B. Okay. Easy? Yes, should be easy for you, right? Okay, good. So here, let's have a quick summary of the first part. To identify the required equivalent fractions, what is the first one? That is to multiply or divide both the denominator and the numerator of a given fraction with a same number. And step 2, we can just continue listing equivalent fractions until the conditions given in the questions are met. So what about if we cannot find the direct multiple relationship, then what should I do? Okay, so here we have another tip, that is try to simplify first. Okay. Yeah. So for the second part, actually I want to introduce more about the unit shape. This is how we apply fraction in geometry. Okay. Here everyone, please be concentrated. Okay, I see that some of you are just talking. Listen to me. So here for the unit shape. Here, let's start from a warm-up question. The figure below is made up of 4 identical rectangles. What fraction of the figure is shaded? Okay, have a try A, B, C, D. Which one should be the correct answer? A, B, C, D, which one? Which one? No idea. Okay, think about it. Can we just say that here I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are 5 parts. I take out of 1 part, so that is 1 out of 5. I want to choose C. Am I correct? Am I correct? Cannot, right? What is the key point in fraction? You must make sure that every part is equal, okay? So actually, you see that the answer should be 1 over 8. What should we do with the rectangle? You must cut each rectangle into half, right? So in this way, actually, it should be 8 equal parts, and then I just shade 1 of them. So the fraction should be 1 out of 8, okay? So equal, this is a very important word. And the next one, what is the fraction of the shape is unshaded? Think about it. Yes, maybe you can have a try. I think this one is a bit tricky. What is the shape? What is a fraction? What out of what equal parts are unshaded? Try. How many equal parts you can find? How many equal parts? How many equal parts? How many? Confused, right? Very confused, right? Okay, let me give you a hint. Ta-da! So now, could you please tell me how many equal parts are there? Yes, you just count how many equal parts? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so in this 11 equal parts, how many parts are unshaded? Unshaded. Yes, unshaded out. Unshaded. How come so many students still answer me 4? Unshaded. What is the meaning of unshaded? Huh? Your English teacher wanna cry, huh? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is the answer? 7. Good job. So what is the fraction? Let's turn that into the fraction. That is 7 out of 11. Yes, 7, 11, right? Yeah, the answer is 7, 11. Yeah. Okay, good. So now let's move on to the second example. What fraction of the shape is shaded? So now you see that this one is a bit more challenging compared to the warm-up question, right? But don't worry, actually the method is still the same. Well, firstly, we must identify our unit shape. So what is the unit shape? Well, unit shape is the smallest shape you can equally divide our figure into. So here, let's have a look. Well, you can see that for the square, actually it is very perfect, right? And for the triangle, that is just half of the square. Then what about the annoying part, small triangles and a trapezium? Small triangles and a trapezium. Wow, what should we do with these small triangles and trapezium? What should we do? Can we just give up? Yes, they're so annoying. So we just give up, we cry, we ask the teacher, ask the daddy and mommy to help, right? Cannot. Okay, so here let's have a look. What should we do? Well, here I will introduce a tip that is maybe we can try to cut and turn that into a regular shape. So here let's have a look. What should we do? Well, as you can see, if I just label these 4 shaded parts as A, B, C, D respectively, B is a full square, C is half of square, then what about the A and D? Well, we can try to cut up A and D to form some regular shape. So how do we cut? Yes, how do we cut? Okay, so now as you can see here, maybe I try to cut the small triangles and then I turn that into the unshaded part. Then you will see that for part A, I turn the big triangles into a square, right? Okay, and actually I can do the same thing to part D. I turn the small triangles around. Then I can get a full square. So following this, let's move on. Then, how do we figure out the fraction of the shaded part? Now, in this way, actually you can see, firstly, you need to turn them into the unit shape. That is, you need to divide the square into smaller triangles, right? Yes, good job. And then following this, let's just count. How many shaded parts are there? How many shaded parts, everyone? Yes, you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Okay, so the shaded part, actually that is 7 triangles. Then what about the total figures? How many equal triangles are there? How many equal triangles are there? How many equal triangles are there altogether? That is 2 times 8. So you can see that altogether, there are 16 triangles. And 7 triangles are shaded. So what is the fraction of the shaded part? That is 7 out of 16. Okay, any question here? Yes, 7 out of 16. Oh, good job. I see. Some students answered that correctly. Very good. Easy? Still a bit hard? Yeah, fraction, to be honest, fraction is a bit challenging topic. And then let's move on here. Now it's your turn, everyone. Actually, I will give you 20 seconds to try to figure out the answer by yourself, okay? If you have the blank paper, try to draw out something by yourself. Yeah, try to draw out something by yourself. The figure not drawn to scale is made up of 4 identical squares. Attention, 4 identical squares. That means 4 equal squares, 4 same squares, okay? And then, what fraction of the figure is shaded? Okay, have a try. Try it by yourself. Oh, so fast. I even haven't finished reading the question. Some students already get the answer. Okay, what is the fraction? Okay, good job. So now you can see that what should we do with these small triangles? We just cut, right? And then move it to the unshaded parts, okay? So following this, again, you can see that for the total figure, we can just cut it into 8 equal parts. And then following this, how many parts are shaded? Okay, altogether, there are 8 equal parts. And then what should we do? Yes, 1, and then actually here, if you cut it like this, then we will have 2 and 3, right? Okay, so what is the fraction? That is 3 out of 8. Is it easy? Yes, easy. Then I have a bonus question. What about if I want to change the question? I want to ask you, what fraction of the figure is unshaded? If I just put a UN here, then what is the answer? If I just ask you, oh, unshaded, what is the fraction? Yeah, this is a bonus question for you. What fraction of the figure is unshaded? Yes, good job. Then it will be 5 out of 8, right? Okay, 5 out of 8. Yes, very good. So you see, reading question is also very important. Don't just say, I know must be shaded, or I know must be unshaded. Read the question. That is the most important thing, okay? Yeah. So here, let's have a quick summary of this part. If the figure is not divided equally, we need to first cut and combine the parts to form unit shapes. So what is the first step? We need to observe the figure, cut and combine irregular shapes into more regular unit shapes. And what is the step 2? We can identify the smallest unit shape. You need to make sure that they are equal. They're of the same size and the same shape, okay? Find the number of parts requested and the total parts. And step 3, you can just form the fraction accordingly. What is the meaning of denominator? Denominator means the whole parts. And what is the meaning of the numerator? That means the parts you take. And we just combine them, then you will see a fraction. Okay? Yes. So the last part. Are you ready? Sorry, the last part. This is about a fraction word problem. Okay, first let me check how many of you like to do some word problems. Anybody likes word problem? Anybody like problem? Word problem? Nobody? Okay, we just skip the last part, right? And then say bye-bye, right? No. Okay. Yes, to be honest, the fraction word problem is not that easy for most students, right? Especially when it comes to fraction word problem, right? I know that some students just say, well, even for the whole number word problem, I don't like it. Then what about the fraction? I even don't like it, right? Okay, so here, let me show you a very easy example first. As you can see, teacher Apple spent 2 out of 3 of her money on a math worksheet. She had $10 left. So what is the price of the math worksheet? Any idea? Any idea? Pay attention. I spent 2 out of 3 of my money first, and then I only have $10 left. So what is the price of the math worksheet? What should I do? Okay, so for the first one here, everyone, let's meet your good friend. What is a good friend? Model, right? Model is your good friend, right? Do you like model drawing? Wow, already see. No. Please turn that into yes, okay. Now, let's turn that into the model. Well, you see that what is the meaning of a 2 out of 3? That is, firstly, I need to divide my money into 3 equal parts. Okay, 3, 3, 3. And then following this, what is the meaning of a 2? That is, I just take out 2 units to buy my math worksheet, right? So here, after you draw out the bar model, what should we do? You need to label 2 units, that is for worksheet. And where should we label $10? For the $10 that is left over. So actually you can see what is the value of 1 unit here. For 1 unit, it costs $10. Then what about the price of the math worksheet? There are 2 units. 2 units, that is 2 times $10, right? So what is the answer? Oh, sorry. So what is the answer? That is $20. right? Very easy. So here we got 20. Okay, let me check. So far, is this question easy for you? Hate model. Model is your best friend. Okay, model is your best friend. Okay. So now again, firstly, where should we start from? You need to start from the meaning of the fraction. Figure out how many equal parts are there and then draw out the model. Okay, now let me introduce another example to you. Here you can see the girl. The girl spent 5 out of 9 of her salary. Oh, sorry, I missed the letter A. Her salary on a television. She spent 3/4 of the remainder. Oh my God, spelling error. Remainder on a table. She had $160 left. The television cost blah, blah, blah. So we are looking for blah, blah, blah. What is blah, blah, blah? How do we do? Okay, so firstly, let's have a look at, pay attention to some keywords. Wow, what happened to the remainder? IN, okay. So firstly, step 1. To find out the money spent on the television, we need to figure out how much money the girl had at first, right? So what should we do for the first step? Okay, let me show you. How do we show 5 out of 9 of her salary? Everyone, if you have the pencil and the paper, please try to draw it out. How do we show out the 5 out of 9 of the salary? What is the meaning of a 5? What is the meaning of a 9? Which part should we start from? Okay, let's draw out together. So for the first one, here we just draw a bar to show her salary. Okay, here everyone follow me. Please draw out a long rectangle. Okay, draw a long rectangle. And then what should we do? Yes, salary. Where's my letter A? Letter A is eaten. Okay, salary, yeah. Okay. And then following this, you see that we need to divide the whole bar into 9 equal parts. Why is it 9 equal parts? Because the denominator is 9. And denominator will show you how many equal parts are there in total. So here, let's turn that into 9 equal parts. Finished? And following this, let's try to label 5 out of 9 of her salary on television. So here, you just label 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and draw the bracket. This is for TV, okay? And 3/4 of the remainder. So which part is remainder? Which part is the remainder? Can we say the remainder is just the 9 units? Cannot, right? Okay, what is the remainder part? Yes. For the remainder part, actually, that is just the right side, right? There are only 4 units left over. So, following this, 3/4 of the remainder. Could you please show me which part is 3/4 of the remainder? Again, take out your pencil, try to draw it out. Which part is 3/4? Which part? Okay, good. 3 out of 4, right? And then we haven't finished all. She had $160 left. So which part is $160? Yes, so now you will see that there is only 1 unit left, right? So here let's label 1 unit as $160. And then after you finish the model drawing, and then you can figure out 1 unit that is for $160. Then what about the cost of television? For the cost of TV, how many units are there? There are 5 units, right? Okay, so what is the value of 5 units? Yeah, it's your calculation time. Okay, have a try. What is the 5 times 160? Excellent. Yes, super fast. Did you use the calculator or you calculate by yourself, huh? Did you use the calculator? How come you're so fast? Okay, yes, good job. 800. Yes, 800. Very good. 800. So now you see, for the fraction word problem, actually we can also turn that into the model drawing problem, right? And again, what is the key point? Let's have a quick summary. But before that, I want to show you another type of the fraction word problem. Well, here you see, a tailor used the 1/9 of a piece of the cloth to make a blouse and the 2/3 of the same piece of cloth to make a skirt. What fraction of the piece of cloth did the tailor use altogether? Okay, so for the first part, you see, again, we know that we need to draw a long rectangle, right? the long rectangle to represent the whole, the total length of the cloth. And then following this, we can label, okay, 1 unit, 1 unit for the blouse. And then 2/3 of the same piece. Question, 2/3. How come now the denominators are different? How can we turn that into the same denominator? How can we turn them into the same number? Well, this is actually what we learned before. That is for the equivalent fraction, right? So think about it. For 2/9, 2/3, that is equal to something over 9. What is something here? What is something here? Yes. So actually here we have one more step. That is 2/3 equals to 6 out of 9, right? So here we can label out 6 units. 6 units for the skirt. So now altogether, what is the answer? Now you can see that actually the question is asking you, what is the sum of 1 out of 9 plus 2 out of 3? And actually here that is the same as 1 out of 9 plus 6 out of 9. So altogether, the answer should be 7 out of 9, right? Okay. So you see that this is the use of equivalent fraction in addition of a fraction. If the denominators are different, don't worry, don't give up, don't cry. What should we do? We just turn that into the same denominator. And how can we turn them into the same denominator? That is how we make the equivalent fraction. As long as the numerator and denominator, they're multiplying or dividing by the same number at the same time, the value of the fraction is still the same. Okay? Yes. Cry. Don't cry. Here, let's have a final summary. Okay, this is the third part. We can use the bar model, your best friend, bar model to solve fraction word problems. So basically, there are 3 steps. The first one, draw a bar to show the original total amount. And the second step, divide the bar into equal parts to show the fraction of the whole. And the last step, label out each part on the bar. You must make sure that you can label out clearly and correctly, okay? And please note, if we have a fraction of the remainder, you need to be clear about the remainder that is for the leftover. So its total refers to the leftover portion and not the original whole. Okay? Yeah. So when you read the question, do remember to underline or circle the keywords as well. Okay, so actually this is the end of today's session, and later I will share the worksheet and the bonus question in our group. Okay, see you on Friday. Bye-bye.